Hey, what's up? Just like I promised, throughout the entire month of January, I did not do a single video about wrestling. But now it's February, and now I'm going to talk about wrestling. I'm going to talk about two things that happened in January that I wanted to talk about. Now I'm going to. First is going to be the induction of the Macho Man, Randy Savage, into the WWE Hall of Fame at WrestleMania, and the Royal Rumble that happened 2 weeks ago. So, let's get into this. First of all, I'm going to do this in chronological order. So, Macho Man Randy Savage's induction to Hall of Fame at WrestleMania, I think is well deserved. It needed to have happened right after his death, even before his death. I don't know why. Maybe it was personal problems, personal issues between Macho Man and WWE, family-wise, the Randy Savage's family and WWE. I don't know. It's as a fan, I'm just glad he's in it, and he was such a big star, such a big name that he had to go into the WWE Hall of Fame at some point. Now I'm going to talk about the WWE Hall of Fame in general later on towards WrestleMania, but I wanted to get this out of the way because I was a fan of Macho Man Randy Savage. I thought he was really funny, really entertaining, and the voice is kind of fun to do. Oh yeah, but it kind of hurts your throat if you try to do it too much or get too into it. I don't know how people can do it professionally, and I'm glad to see him taking his rightful place inside the WWE Hall of Fame. With all these, dead wrestlers, they deserve their spot in the sun. And I just, unfortunately, didn't come soon enough before his untimely passing. I would also like to see Miss Elizabeth get put into the Hall of Fame, hopefully this year, because it makes sense because they were the first couple of wrestling. But I'm happy that Macho Man is going to be in the Hall of Fame. And funny enough, in the Macho Man Randy Savage, his wrestling persona was one way I actually met a friend of mine. Actually, we were put in the same group in this thing called a pub quiz, where we get people together and there's a quiz master and they ask questions about random categories. And the category was famous professions. So she was in my group with a couple other people, and the quizmaster said, "Name the profession of the person with this catchphrase." Oh yeah! And she started laughing. I started laughing. The other two in the group weren't too sure what was so funny. But as soon as she was about to tell me what the answer was, I already wrote it down. I already knew it. And she was about to tell me, I know it. And I showed her the answer. Oh, you know it. It's like, yeah, I'm a fucking wrestling fan for decades now. Like, me too. And we just started talking about wrestling after the quiz is over. And it just snowballed from there. We became friends from that. So, it's one of those things to see who grew up with wrestling, and that's why I still am a wrestling fan, because it's not something I grew out of, and it's not something I think that is shameful for an adult to like. It's just, you change over time, but there's some things that even as an adult you still can buy into the illusion and some buy into the fun of it, and I think too many people my age don't. Which leads me to the Royal Rumble. Because, a lot of people were completely crapping all over that. First of all, the Divas match earlier, good. It showed that when the Divas have time to actually put on a good match, they can. I mean, the Bellas are not as bad as they used to be. Nikki Bella is definitely the better of the two, in my opinion. You have Paige and Natalya, two of the best women's wrestlers in WWE right now. And they have not been getting the chance to shine. And when they have the time, they really do put on good matches. The tag team title match was fun, and it was also laid the seeds for Miz and Mizdow to, start a rivalry towards WrestleMania, and it was a nice little build-up to the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, and John Cena. It was great. Let's be honest. It was a great match because it wasn't one of those 2-on-1 where the two challengers try to do everything they can at the same time to take out the champion. They each took their shots at him when they had the chance. But they weren't really teaming up on him because they had their own rivalry. And it was good to see each of the three men shine in their own way. Seth Rollins definitely proved himself to be worthy of that top upper echelon. I definitely see him being a future WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and it was great to see him in that match. John Cena definitely held his own. Didn't have the kind of high spots that Lesnar or Seth Rollins had, but he definitely showed that he can wrestle when it was just him and Rollins in the ring. And Brock Lesnar looked like a freaking beast in that one. I mean, my God, the punishment he was given and the fact he was still getting up and kicking ass showed what he needed to be. WWE had not had him in a match since September, so they had to re-show, this guy's the beast incarnate, and he did that perfectly in that match. It was such a great match. Even that stupid Philly crowd couldn't crap on it. But oddly enough, the only time they were saying that this was awesome and really getting into the match was after Brock Lesnar got put through a table, because somebody's got to get hurt in Philly. I want to talk some crap about Philly. So, before I talk about the Royal Rumble match itself, I'm going to give a quick swear warning for you. I will swear a bit during this because there's some things that just really pissed me off. So, I saw some of the surprise entrances were varied because the Boogeyman was a waste. It didn't do anything. You had Diamond Dallas Page come out. That was cool. He actually has a good amount of time in the ring, giving the Diamond Cutter, everybody doing the Diamond Cutter symbol. And it was cool. And, he also, his elimination wasn't wasted because it really helps build Rusev. But Bubba Ray Dudley's was probably in the middle, I think, because he was good, but he didn't really serve too much of a purpose other than to give the Philly crowd something to cheer about, because that place was the birthplace of ECW. So I think Boogeyman's the worst, Bubba Ray's was in the middle, and Diamond Dallas Page is at the top of the returns. The old timers or the returnees, or whatever you want to call it. So, other than that, like I mentioned, Rusev getting a big push, I guess you want to call it, or he's being built up even more than he was before with being the U.S. champion. I mean, he had 6 eliminations. Him and Bray Wyatt definitely were the Iron Men in this Royal Rumble. He really established themselves, especially Bray Wyatt, because he had not had a chance to really establish himself. The but lackluster, I guess you call it, feud he had with Chris Jericho didn't really enthrall me, at least. I don't know about other people, and Rusev really showed that he can be an ass kicker and build up the mid-card with the U.S. title. Now, as far as, one of Bray Wyatt's eliminations, Daniel Bryan, all I have to say is, Steph. That's what Joe. Yeah. I laughed my ass off on that one because it was so funny to see those crybaby IWC dumbasses just throw their feces all over the place because their little inner darling get eliminated. Well, here's a couple things. First of all, he just gotten back from, 9-10 months off with the severe neck injury that he had to have a couple of surgeries on. You really wanted him to go the whole distance. Second of all, a big complaint I keep reading, because I enjoy reading comment sections of IWC trolls, because it's like watching a wild safari, being in a wild safari, seeing trolls in their natural habitat. So it was kind of funny to see them all say, "Don't be so predictable. You always know what's going to happen." Didn't see that coming, though, did you? Yeah, you didn't see that coming. I like the fact he got eliminated early. I know it didn't make anybody happy, and people were crying when they're getting back. Well, you know what? Tough shit. Alright? You really think that WWE has to do everything you tell them to? I should save a lot of this pent-up frustration towards the IWC for another video, shouldn't I? Well, they shouldn't say their pent-up frustration, because they took it all out on Roman Reigns. And you know what? I have a feeling that it didn't matter who won, since the little inner darling can remember that they're just gonna just shit all over whoever did win, and it was Roman Reigns. Last year they're all on his jock trying to say that he shouldn't have won the Royal Rumble. He got 12 people. Well, this year it's a year later, and he's built up even more. And not to mention, the Shield, all three members have been building themselves up this past year, and now he's getting what I think is a rightful spot to build into the future with him and at Royal Rumble winning it and becoming the number one contender for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. And you people have to throw your freaking feces all over the place. God. And automatically people are saying that, can't WWE Network. Do you want a fucking bottle? I mean, seriously. You want a fucking bottle? Because honestly, I've seen toddlers throwing temper tantrums that weren't this bad. I've seen special needs kids, go crazy over something, and they weren't this bad. I mean, God Almighty, it's been awful just to read how Roman Reigns sucks because now he's being pushed to be the new big thing. You've been saying for years how you want new blood, new people to be at the top. And now that WWE is actually doing that and is building the future, and there are a few guys right now, you have all three former members of the Shield, you have Dolph Ziggler, you have Bray Wyatt, you have Rusev. I mean, that's the base right there for the future. But since it wasn't your hand-picked champion, it's not good enough. Well, guess what? It doesn't always matter what you want. It's about making money as well. I want to talk a little bit more about this in another video. But if you want to talk about build up for the WrestleMania, all I had to do was look at the Raw right after the Royal Rumble. They were snowed in, but they made the best of it. And it showed Roman Reigns how intense he is in something very simple. And that's what I like to see. Just simple, intense, believability. You really think Daniel Bryan can throw one flailing knee at Brock Lesnar and pin him after when 4 AAs, a curb stomp, 2 shots to the head from a Money in the Bank briefcase, and getting put through the table didn't do it? You really think one flailing knee from Daniel Bryan is going to put him down? You're living a fantasy if you think that. But, hey, I hopefully don't have to worry about that. I know at Fastlane is going to be Daniel Bryan versus the rightful winner of the 2015 Royal Rumble, Roman Reigns. Now, I'm hoping that WWE stays with Reigns, continues his push into the main event of WrestleMania, and he becomes the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and we can start building towards the future with a new crop of talent that we'll be enjoying for the next 8 to 10 years. So, whether that's you, little internet crybabies, like it or not, Roman Reigns is the future. Believe that.